So obviously we might be having some chop today, you know, pretty normal. Um, we have some news going on, so we have to really pay attention to that today. Same 5 things that are happening at the moment. Obviously presidential elections and then Q3 earnings gonna be popping up, right? Because JP Morgan beats estimates on earnings and revenues, so futures are a bit slow on the kickoff of the Q3. Yeah, yesterday's rally was nice. So it's normal, right? After we rally up, consolidate for a little bit, accumulate. So super normal situation, right? If we take a look back, exactly what's happening, right? Nice move up to all the way up to 540. And now, we get a little range bound before we decide, hey, do we want to push higher or do we want to push lower? Gamma squeeze all day? Okay. I'd never really traded the gamma squeeze or don't know too much about it. So if you want to teach me something about it, go for it. But oh, yesterday? Okay. But yeah, right now, we've had that rally. We're gonna be a little bit sideways, maybe. I don't know how bad the chop will be, or we might just create a nice range bound for a little bit before we decide. So we'll have to really pay attention to that because the pre-market volume wasn't too great. I don't see any crazy orders on the dome either. So we'll see how at market open everything changes, right? So we'll be paying attention to that. If we could get a nice alert, I'd take it. Right now, seems like a nice mini pullback. Hit that 200 EMA, bouncing right back up. We'll see if it can continue and hold. That'll be pretty much key for me today. Good morning, Mandich. Trump is back on the road, but dude, he doesn't control the market. He just talks about the market. That's the thing, though. Nice candle popping up. We'll see how it wants to act at the market open. Oh wow, 2 million calls on Apple. Yeah, that's that's a big bet. I mean, Apple is pretty strong, so I wouldn't be surprised if Apple just continues, right? That wouldn't surprise me one bit. And the thing is with Apple, new phones coming out, new laptop updates, all this stuff, so it's like that really affects it very nicely. And usually around this time, because they usually release their phones in September, but I guess now October due to some delays. That's why we see the price moving up, right? I believe they're supposed to be dropping a new phone today or releasing the details about it. That's interesting. Do you know who this whale is, or this is just like an article that you read? I think it's SoftBank again. Okay, so there's no. Okay. I mean, yeah, the institutions have that type of money, so that doesn't surprise me. I've seen data for where like people were putting like IWM puts for like 5 million before. There's like 2 million I could easily see, but for stocks it's a lot. Mainly they do that for ETFs like QQQ, SPY, and IWM. But I don't really see high volume like high dollar amounts being spent on options like regular stocks. But Apple does have the potential, man. It can seriously just ride back up to like the 136 area if it wants to. Because it already had that nice pump yesterday, right? So after that, we should see it hold, but have us a little slow grind to the upside. As long as like the whole market's doing well, right? That's the problem. I want to see what they're gonna do about it, or if they do anything about it, because they pretty much control how the market's working, and that's the whole reason for the big comeback, right? Because we've been just plainly depending on the tech stocks and how much they're being valued right now. Is compared to all the other companies, they're so much bigger. Like it's unreal. Good morning, Mustafa. Again, right now we're right by that 200 EMA. Normal to see price fluctuate right there if we're not making a clear bounce back. We'll see if it wants to push down to our resistance level. And yeah, if you look at Apple on the daily charts, I like looking at this one. We've been getting alerts from it since like the 28th of September. This one would have worked out if you held. This one you wouldn't have got in because the next candle it didn't fill you in. This one worked out, hit all 3 targets. But yeah, I feel like Apple overall, it's in a pretty good place, right? As long as the market's doing fine, I I think we'll be fine with Apple. It's just these elections and everything. Obviously, they're gonna try to pump it up as much as possible because one, Trump depends on that. He literally tweets like, "Oh, look at that, we're up again." Like, dude, come on. Like, stay out of the stock market, please. There's enough stuff to worry about. I don't need him to be one of the things, right? Yeah, like I said in the morning, like we might have some chop today, so just be careful, guys. Like, if today has to be the day where you don't trade, it's a day that you don't trade. Just stick to your plan, stick to your rules. But yeah, be careful. Let's see how we're doing on the hourly charts for the ES. Okay. Yep. Looking at the hourly charts, plain and simple. I'll show you guys right now what I'm talking about. Nice and clear picture. You know, we made that nice rally up. Now we're going to bounce back and forth between this price area. We don't know if it's confirmed to the tick or not, but I'm just going based off what I'm seeing. But yeah, pretty much this nice move happened, right? Here it hit all three targets, and ever since been going. So we should see some price bouncing back and forth. Once we break, I guess, below that previous pivot for this one, which would be around 35.10, essentially. Or we might just find support at that 3,500 level again. That might be pretty, because that's where we saw price acting up the most yesterday as well. So that's very important to pay attention to. Imagine if I had a runner. I mean, I used to trade with runners a good amount, but then I kind of just cut that out with all the volatility. But like once everything starts going back to like a bit more normal, maybe after the election period, that's when I might start using runners again. Is when I had the runners, I used to, just ride it out until I see, okay, you know what, I'm happy with this amount, I'll take it out. But yeah, we'll get back into that, no doubt. Gotta adapt to the markets that are happening at the moment, right? Because even one random news event right now, it's like market goes haywire. Today's definitely going to be just testing the patience. We have one support level at 35.12. That's close to the area I was talking about before. That was saying 35.10. We have a key level at 35.12. We saw some support there, right, overnight as well. So we'll see. Will we break through? Because we are just dumping right now at the moment. That was a quick dump. So let's see how we play it off. We get to the tick and bounce. That would be pretty cool. Again, I never really like trading when the EMA, 200 EMA and like pivot levels are close to each other unless I'm going for a quick bounce. But when it's like inside this type of range, I'm gonna have to just sit tight for a while. Let me know. I know some of you guys trade the pre-market session and the overnight session. How'd that go for you guys? Make any good moves? You lost 3 scalps last night? Oh man, sorry to hear that. But you'll get it back. It is just a choppy market, man. Like that's what we have to pay attention to, right? You guys know how much I hate the chop, like literally with a passion. So that's why when you start analyzing more and more and you say, hey, this is our area that we don't want to trade, we just got to stick to it and be like, hey, unless there's a perfect setup that's like an A+ setup, we'll get in. If not, then just stay out completely. Calls on Apple's taking in. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, right now our goal right now is just to stay patient, not force anything, just wait it out. The Russell, okay. I mean, Russell's kind of just jumping back and forth a little bit as well. It's going positive for sure, a little bit, but not much. It's pushing up, but that could reverse at any point at the moment. Oh, it's great for scalps, which doesn't have a large drawdown. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really touch the Russell often. Look at the charts on the side right now, just because you said. But yeah, I mean, it has some good, decent moves for sure. From the Weewop, okay. I mean, yeah, you can always go for like the Weebop bounces or 200 EMA bounces for like a quick scalp. That always tends up working out. It's just a matter of how do you manage your stop losses and how much are you risking, right? To get that 1 point. That's what really matters. Since we are just chopping around, if you guys could hit that like button. If you're new, please do subscribe. We do this every morning. We're live every morning. Today, we might just be facing a little bit of chop, so we just got to be more careful and just wait things out. Oh, the orange line, just another level. Like you see how I have a yellow line? The orange line is just another level. Thank you, Mandich. Let's see if we can get a couple more people going in. I know there's like 17 people watching, but only 8 likes. We'll get them. We really are just trying to beat that YouTube algorithm, right? Yeah, it is bouncing off our level because that's where our level was before. Overnight, that's where it bounced off. So we'll see how it plays out, right? Got close to it. I think, let's see, how much did it get close to? Our level is at 35, 12, 50. Yeah, this went just by a tick. We'll see how it holds. That's what's important. How is Amazon doing today? Wonder how that's doing because today is Prime Day, right? Today is Prime Day, yeah. Still pushing higher. That's nice. Didn't break through yesterday's highs, but just yet. But you know, probably will happen. They do have earnings coming up on the 22nd. The high volume node for the day, as of right now, is 35.20. So we'll see. If we can break above that and hold, we might be able to make a nice reversal move, bounce off of our level. That'd be very nice. If not, we're just gonna be getting some chop. Let's take a look at the dome as well. Dome, nothing strong happening. No big orders piling up. Pretty normal. Decent volume. Nothing crazy. Yeah, super choppy. I'm just gonna sit back for a while. I don't even want to look at it for a little bit just because I'd rather let it play out. Good morning, Sergio. How are you, man? Roby, how do you separate buying volume and selling volume? I mean, one way of looking at it is, okay, look for the deltas, the red bars, high selling pressure, green bars, buying pressure. That's one way. Second way is also looking at the dome and seeing where selling pressure is piling up, right? You'd see the orders piling up on the dome. You see a high number of orders, sellers piling up. See a high number of orders piling up on the buying side, buyers piling up. And so it's like just understanding that and understanding the market dynamics. Yeah, another quick bounce off of that level. It's acting pretty strong. I like that. So if we can get a nice reversal to the upside, I'd be happy with that. So that's my main thing, but we're still like in that range bound situation, so I'm just being more careful. Because some days you just have to be like okay with, sitting on the sidelines and just waiting it out. But yeah, back to Roby's question is it's super simple, like just understanding buying pressure and selling pressure and the volume. Just look at the dome, see for nice big orders if they're piling up anywhere, because you'll see that pretty quickly where price can't really break through, and you'll see high number of orders on the dome. And then second, you'll see if you have the delta up, it's all telling you about the volume as well, right? So it's like understanding where sellers are piling up, where they're getting strong, where they want to like be in control. I hope that answered your question. Let me know. Yeah, like, pretty much this is going to be our range bound situation at the moment, right? We're just stuck between these two key levels, between 35.36 and 35.12. It broke through just a little bit overnight, but it still got strong, bounced back up. So if we can do the same thing again here, I would probably try to get in if we do get some buyers to step in. Nice, Dragon. Glad you got some 3 scalps in. So is there any way that we can identify from the chart itself? I mean, the easiest way is to look at the candles, right? If you're looking at Heikinashi's, you're obviously seeing red candles, sellers, green candles, buyers, right? It shows you which ones are in control. Heikin helps you with that because it tells you the short-term trend and where the sellers or buyers are, what direction they want to be in, right? So that's very crucial to understand. But on the other hand, if you're looking at the regular candlesticks, obviously the price and the volume is what the candle forms. That's the basics of trading, like based on volume, like hey, like the price is moving up. So only with buyers can the price move up, right? And only with sellers can the price move down. And in regular candlesticks, that's what it's gonna tell you. Same thing with any type of candle. Like they need that volume. So whenever you see like big candles popping up, that means hey, a lot of buyers are in control at the moment. They're pumping it up. But that's not the only thing you can depend on. That's when you have to realize, hey, like where is this price moving? Is there a key level there? And then that's when more stuff tends to pile up. Like here, you'll see, okay, buyers stepping in, buyers got strong here, and then now we finally saw nice move up here. Seller stepped in, nice little move down. Let me just go back to the Heiken Ashi real quick. We'll see how this candle plays out. We could get a nice little reversal, to be honest. That's what I'm paying attention to. I will come back to your question real quick. I just want to make sure I get in a move if there is one. That's why we're here, right? Let's see. I mean, once a candle starts holding above that 200 EMA, I'll feel more comfortable. I might just take it from here to like pivot high here. Just play the pivots, right? Because we know price was able to get to that price before. It's not going to have too much resistance. We'll see. And we'll obviously manage it by looking at what's happening in the market. We are just going to drop it down to one contract today, just because it is more range bound. Let's see how we hold up on here. I'm gonna place my buy stop order at 35.21.75. Let's see if we can break through that, and then I'll ride it out. So we do have like the delta bar, you know, nice buyer stepping in. We'll see how well it can hold. Again, that price is above that 200 EMA, so that's crucial as well for us. You guys know I trade the 200 EMA strictly, and I like to make sure price is above that. So we might face some chop again here, since sellers kind of just stepped in rapidly, right? Let's see if we test this level again, or if we're finally going to break out of it. We're testing it again. Let's see. Buyer stepping in at, sorry, seller stepping in at 35.13. And then buyers are stepping in at 35.10.50, most likely, where 10.50 was right around where the previous pivot low was. And seeing this type of selling pressure, I'm going to cancel this order. Not worth it. We might just slowly continue it to the downside. Let's see if we break through this level, though. That's the key part for us today. 35.12.50. That's our key level for the day at the moment. NQ hitting similar resistance. Okay. I mean, yeah, they all tend to stay in sync. Just the prices are different, but the markets tend to move the same with some moments of being some divergence, but more times than not, they're going the same direction. That's why I mainly just stick with trading the ES, just because it's like I'm trading NQ ES. Like, yeah, I might catch it like a move on NQ a bit faster, but same thing's happening. There's no point for me to get in on NQ and ES at the same time. Bouncing off again. Let's see. Let's see how it holds. Again, I said it this morning, right? We're gonna face some chop, so and that's exactly what's happening. High wicks on both sides. Things just chopping back and forth. I don't even think we broke out of that morning range, did we? I don't think so. I think we only broke it out by maybe a few ticks, but not much else. Yeah, that's the morning range as well. So morning range bounced off right off the tick right here, bouncing back and forth again, hit it, bouncing back up. This is definitely acting as a nice strong level. So what I'm hoping for right now is, since we did, push back down, hopefully we can repeat what happened overnight, push right back up. I would love to see that. I would love to get long here, but only if I get confirmation. Now we're starting to break through it a little bit. Let's see. Will we actually just want to make some moves to the downside today? Who knows? Did break that pivot low. Oh, you canceled your short order, man? You gotta trust your strategies, man. When you're using them for a long time, just believe in them. Let them ride through. I think that's like one of the biggest things, right? Just making sure you stick out with your strategies and just, you keep doing exactly what you're doing. Because you can't get the results that you backtested in if you don't follow the same thing when you're trading for real. Let's see. It's gonna be interesting to see. Let's see. I mean, obviously, if I wanted to go for like the delta short here, that would have worked out, right? But here, let me just make this bigger. The delta short on this one would have worked out because, easily 1 point. Because it dropped like 3 points already. But I'm not too keen on scalping at the moment. I just want to find my big moves and be done with it. Just take 1 or 2 trades a day. these scalps haven't really been the best. Like they worked out, yes, but then it's also like the risk profile isn't proper. Yeah, we're coming right above that level, right again. Just gotta be patient, guys. This is one of those days where your patience gets tested. You know, this happens like all the time. And the more you trade, the more you realize, like, hey, you just need to wait for that one trade. That's like the biggest part. Nothing on my algo at the moment. You know, kind of just selling off. Kind of struggling, jumping back and forth between price. All about just being patient, guys. I don't even have much to say today because it's like it's not moving, it's not doing anything crazy. It's just chopping back and forth. When it chops, we kind of just sit in silent, just wait it out. The only thing in the news is like Johnson and Johnson's coronavirus trial has been paused. That's interesting. You got Russell good $80 so far. That's good, man. Oh, we're trying to finally get some buyers in a little bit. Let's see if we can make a nice push up. Any TV show or a movie you've seen you recommend? Let me pull up my Netflix real quick. What do we have? I haven't been watching too much TV. What did I watch recently? I mean, if it's from any time, like if you want like a good series to watch, I used to watch White Collar. That was one. Um, let's see, what else did I watch? Let me type it out. White Collar, Suits. What else? I watched Hawaii 5-0 at one point. Oh, Lucifer is good too. On Netflix. Lucifer. You have the regular ones like The Flash and The Arrow and like Breaking Bad. Those are all good as well. The Good Place, I think, was a good show. Yeah. I mean, even watching those three shows right there, it's like it's gonna take a while. But they were good shows for sure, so I liked them. If you want to check them out, let me know. Breaking Bad was a really good show, man. Like they had like a 1 or 2 seasons where they're just dragging it on, but then they picked it up again. But overall, still a great show, great concept. Oh, so you already watched all three? Okay, then. What other stuff are there? I'm trying to think. I think there's a new one that keeps popping up on Netflix that people like. It's called Schitt's Creek or something. I started watching like a few episodes here and there. Okay. And I think some people were saying another one was like Dynasty on Netflix. Grey's Anatomy is a good show. I haven't watched everything from Grey's because it's a very long show, but I've watched bits and pieces of it here and there. Oh, Sergio, I agree. Money Heist. I forgot about that one. Money Heist was good. Loved it, man. Loved that show. I don't know how I forgot about it. I remember I binged it like immediately. Ozark was good. I only watched like the first season. I don't know why, but I forgot about the second season completely. You just end up getting busy and then you forget. Arrested Development was funny. That was a funny show actually. Mr. Robot first season. Oh yeah. I kind of forgot what happened after that. I feel like I started a good amount of shows, but only a few shows I actually stick it through. Suits, White Collar was one. Money Heist, definitely for sure. That was a great show. I think I only watched one season of Mr. Robot. Mandalorian comes back on Halloween. My brother likes to have a couple of my friends like that. I never really got into Star Wars too much. Kind of just watched it when they were watching it. I always just stuck on the Marvel side of things. And DC too, depending on the character. Marvel's like in person, like the realistic movies were awesome, but like, you know, DC's like animations were a lot better. And again, if you guys could hit that like button, help me grow this channel. We've been at 106 now. 106 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Would really appreciate it, guys. I do this YouTube stuff all for free. Just, it's nice to hang out with you guys, learn from you guys. Just chat while we're trading. Makes trading a lot simpler too. Because then you don't get distracted and you don't try to force a trade or anything. And we learn from each other too. That's the best part. I mean, let me know, like, since the market is just going back and forth. Like, let me know your favorite superheroes or favorite Marvel movies or DC, whichever ones, right? I know everyone has watched at least one of them, right? Let me know. I think personally for me, like Batman would probably be my favorite characters from the DC side, and then from the Marvel side, probably say Iron Man for sure. The Batman movies were great. Loved the Batman movies. Again, prices just jumping back and forth around our key level, so it's just a time to just, be patient, wait it out. Oh, Logan was a good movie. I know the ending got to a lot of people. Like that was like pretty. The direction was proper on that one. That's for sure. Captain Hindsight, South Park. Dude, I haven't heard of like watch South Park in like years. Like a very long time. But South Park was a funny show just because of the way they said stuff, like how messed up some of the stuff was. That's what made it so funny for me. Still just chopping around. God damn, man. Again, we do not force trade, so if we don't get an opportunity, we are not trading them. That's why we can have these discussions right now, because when market's choppy, we can just have some fun discussions. But if you are new and you're watching and you just want to ask me a question about the market or just, want to learn about something, let me know. Like, happy to help. I have time to explain stuff right now. I mean, if you want something that makes some rated R movies about superheroes, then you might want to give that direction to Netflix, right? Because they've been doing a pretty good job with superhero stuff. Like the direction aspect of everything, they did really well. Like when they did the whole Marvel like rights and everything, where they did the what was the thing called? Like I know they had Daredevil and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and somebody else, but they did a good job with those. Yeah, price is just chopping back and forth. Even on the tick charts, it's just going back and forth. So it's like, unless I get a clear indication of buyers stepping in, I'll get in. But if not, then I'm just gonna have to like, just wait it out and see what happens. If we can't make a move in like the next hour, I'm honestly just gonna call it a day because I'm not gonna sit here and just watch the markets and get to the point where it's like, oh, I wish took a trade here or here, and then try to force a trade because watching the market for too long will make you do that. So definitely be careful about that, guys. I'm kind of happy I stayed away from scalping today as well. Even though we could have had some plays, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's just right around our key level. The price has just been hanging around there. Getting some sellers to come in just a little bit, but I don't know. This really isn't a market I would personally trade. That's just me. Some people probably got short a while back, might be holding it through. Good for them. Me, it's not a market for me. So to be honest, if this is the case in the New York session, then that means in the overnight session we might find a good move. So I might be, I might watch it overnight just to see. You're short at 35, 20, 75. That's a good entry. Yeah, I guess you got off the bounce off of the 200 EMA and went down, which is decent. And you're up 10 points right now. Oh, you caught the wick on that doji? Okay. I mean, I would just start trailing it, right? Just to see how much you can get out. Because if it is pushing down, once it probably breaks below that 3507, that's when we might see a little bit of a drop down to that 3500. Because if you look, you can just play it through the key levels if you wanted to, honestly. Because if you got in there, you're still safe. But if it ever goes back up to like, 35.15, you want to secure in 5 points, by all means, go do that. But if you want to wait it out, then see if you can get down to 34.98 today, or take it off at 3500, because that's definitely gonna act up. I mean, yeah, you can try to ride it out to 3500, because like regardless, you can just move your stop up to 35.15 or 35.16, be like 4 or 5 points in profit, and then just ride it out. Because at that point, you're not losing anything, but if you win, you win big. It depends on what you're looking for in regards to your reward, right? Because to each person, how much they make, it makes a big difference. Because for some people, they're just here in the market to make $100 to $200 a day. Some people are here to make $1,000 a day. Some people are making more than that. So it's like whatever your reward is that you're looking for normally, you want to lock that in, by all means go for it. But if you're like, hey, I have 2 contracts, I can let one run, then obviously, yeah, you could do that. Oh, you're trying to pass the combine? Oh, congrats, man. I'm glad you started that. I mean, you honestly, you could get down to 3,500. You might just need some patience and just wait. I'll just keep an eye out on the delta to make sure, right? Because I'm not in a trade, so let me see if I can help you out in any way. These delta's starting to push up again, but price has been down. That's a clear divergence. Normally, delta likes to lead, so that will be interesting. But I would definitely suggest at least keep 5 points in profit. That way, you're not risking anything. Because even if it has like a crazy pullback and wants to push up randomly, you'd be taken out, still have 5 points of profit. That's when risk management comes in, right? But at the end of the day, again, that's something I would do personally. You're always free to do what you want to do, right? It's your account. I'm just giving out my opinion here. Because if I got in there, I would that by now I would have probably moved my stop to 35.15, and then I would just be riding it down to 3,500 to see if I can get that push. Because if price can hold below our key level, then we should be in good hands. But as you can see, the delta has been pushing up. So definitely pay attention to that. That's a clear divergence, and delta normally likes to lead. The candle here started out weak a little bit, so if that's the case and it starts holding to be weak, that's when you might want to start trailing. But if not, then you could obviously just still wait it out. Because when these type of drops come, they come quick. T Flynn, are you doing the regular account or are you doing the swing trading account for Top Step? Regular 50K? Okay. I mean, yeah, man, the biggest tip I can give when you're trying to pass the combine, just try to get in little profits day to day. You don't need to go for like big crazy moves, right? Even though they seem attractive and everything, but for the combine, getting it, just say, hey, $100, $200 a day and calling it a day and just moving on is honestly a lot safer. Nice doji forming. Yeah, like I was saying, the delta was pushing up, so we might see potential for some buyers to step in. Yep, delta is definitely starting to push. Might see some buyers, but again, we're just bouncing around this key level, so it's like it's hard to tell if there's true direction still. The short-term trend is down at the moment, right? But if you look long-term, still kind of good. Slowly starting to fade, but that's normal because we did have a nice rally, right? Again, thank you guys all for the likes. I saw like the like count right now. Really appreciate all of you. Let's see, can we get anything? Ideally, I would like to see price push above that 200 EMA and then potentially go for a long, because then that means one, 200 EMA, we would get past that. Two, the high volume node for the day is at the 200 EMA as well. So once price starts to hold above that and push through that, we might be able to recover and then push this higher, but we just gotta wait. We can see like the delta, there's nice divergence. Now we might see price finally catching up and start to push through. So T Flynn, this is where I'd start getting careful if I was in the trade myself. He's on his one of his rants. Okay. I haven't really watched him much because obviously I can't if I'm doing this, right? I have checked his videos out a little bit since you guys always talk about him. Seems interesting. Yeah, right now the delta pushing higher, nice buyer stepping in, so that is nice to see. Take charts green, that's also good. Who knows, we might get that big push back to the upside now. We'll see. But yeah, Apple being 30% of NASDAQ is kind of insane. Usually they build indexes so that, everything's diversified, but, Apple doesn't care about that. They just want to take over. So does Amazon. We're still under under the trend line, right? So we'll see how it plays out. This might be it can go either way at this point. Either we push up high, or if we start seeing a red candle next, seller stepping in, that means this is just a continuation of the small downtrend that we are having. So this is just a waiting game today. He was down 5K. Yeah. Oh, dude, there's a lot of people trading options right now. Like, even when I'm on Discord, I keep getting like messages from people just promoting their Discord channel, and they're just sending me messages like, "Oh, join this options channel. We provide all these alerts." I'm like, dude, most of the time, like, people can't get in on these alerts. You have to be able to learn the skill and utilize it before you make money in the markets. Like, you need to have the edge and be able to execute it on time. And options are very super fast. You want to make sure your entry is on point. But the stupid part about options is, like, all these newbies trying to get into options, I don't understand it, because you have to understand how a stock works to see how an option works. If you're not able to predict and analyze on how a stock is moving, you can't do options. These options are based on stock price moving. So it's like, when people don't do that first, they're gonna struggle with options. You'll get the one or two lucky things because you're like, hey, the market just went up that day, for sure. That happens. But you have to think, you're doing this for the long run. Focus on the long run and plan it out properly. Learn the skill of first just trading stocks. Doesn't matter if you only have like a $500 account. Just go for that 1%, 2% returns, or a bit more. But start building it up slowly. Once you start understanding that, and understanding how market moves and what moves the market, what doesn't move the market, when you shouldn't be trading. Today, like, is a perfect example. For me, I shouldn't be trading. That's why I'm kind of been standstill. You guys see my P&L, it's zero. It doesn't make sense for me to get into any trades at the moment. So I'm just waiting. So it's like, you have to be able to understand what the markets are doing, because the market doesn't care that you want to make money. The market's going to do what it wants to do. As a trader, you're just here to catch part of the move, catch the wave, ride it out, and leave. That's it. We're just riding the waves, nothing more. It's like, definitely they have to understand like the stock, how the stock works, how it moves, and everything like that. It's funny because I've talked to a couple of people, newbies, that got into options, and they're like asking me questions and everything. I was like, okay, and then it's like, did you look into the delta or the theta or what the gamma is telling you? He's like, I don't know what those mean. And I was like, how are you trading options without understanding the three basic parts, the three basic components of an options contract? The Silver Surfer. Yeah, man. You gotta be like the Silver Surfer, just ride the waves. Because whenever you look at chart patterns, it's all just a wave, right? Nice movements, nice waves every single time. Oh, my bad. I said silver, right? My bad. I read that wrong. Yeah, it's literally just chopping around our key level. But, you know, let's wait it out. Let's see. Price is still holding below our short-term trend line, so we'll see how it plays out. Today, honestly, the way it's going, I might not be able to catch a move. Who knows? That's why we got to be patient. I'm not here to take like 70 trades and just be like, oh, look at this. I'm here to make 1 to 2 trades, get some profit, and then dip. Because in trading, less is more. Because I've seen people trade just scalping like forever, and they just, scalp for ticks or half a tick, like half a point, and then they'll make like 400, 500, and then I'll do this, and I'll just take you know, one algo alert or something like that, or one move, make the same amount. It's like, it's just a matter of being patient. He's like, if I'm taking more trades, that's putting more risk in my hands, because I have more you trade, the more you have a possibility of taking a loss here and there, right? Because you can't win 100% of the time every time. That's just impossible with trading. That's interesting. Buyers stepped in on the dome, but then they took it away because there's 400 orders that just disappeared. Let's see how well we hold up on that trend line. Kind of just hit it. Let's see if we can break above or not. Got it at plus 300. That's still good, T. Flynn. It's all about just having consistency in the markets, right? Making sure you're slowly building your account, especially if you're doing the combine. Don't take high risk situations because they tend to burn you. Yeah, man, 300 a day keeps a job away because remember, what do we have, like 252 trading days or something like that in the whole year? And get 400 a day, you're pretty much set at 6 figures right there. Obviously, that 300 won't look 300 every single day, right? That's what a lot of people will think when they're starting out. Like, because like I've seen the people, they're like, "Oh, I just need to make 300 a day, 400 a day, 500 a day, I'll be rich." But you know, see you later, Chris. But you have to understand, every day is gonna be different. Some days you'll make 700, some days you'll make 100. And averaging that out, that's when you have to realize, okay, my daily goal is still being hit. I preferably, me personally, I have weekly goals because focusing on daily goals too much does force trades. I've personally experienced that. That's why I switched over to weekly goals, and that's why you don't see me trying to say, "Oh, I need to have a trade today," because I realized when I was like doing my analysis, looking at my journal, I was like, like if I just cut these days out where it's like I just stop trading that day, I'm in a better position, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And today's a prime example. Don't see something happening that works for me, not getting in. It's like yesterday, what we had like 700 something a profit. Oh, T Flynn, I'm telling you, that's dangerous, man. Don't hit the profit target. Don't think you have to hit it in one day. That's how a lot of people on Top Step have just burned through their accounts, and they have to keep redoing it. So be very careful, man. Like, this is my advice from going through the Top Step program and everything, right? It's like, even they tell you, like, if you ever listen to like some of their videos, they tell you, hey, we like people that just go for the consistent like small returns, and they just build their account slowly and then start growing and then just add their contracts. When you're starting out, just start out slow, figure everything out, stick to the plan, but don't try to force it. Don't try to get, start this account, start past the combine in just one day. Like, because you have to understand, like, if you're going for like big plays like that, that means you're also risking a lot, right? It's very rare to be like, oh, I'm risking 1 point, but I'm gonna find 20 points in return. That's gonna be very rare. Like, you you better have some sort of system that tells you that every single time, and those type of moves don't happen every single time. Yeah, Dragon, like, just take your setups if they come, but you just have to wait. That's one of the biggest parts about being a trader. Once you start trading more and more, that's one of the biggest things like I've learned is like you really do just have to trust your setup. If you, especially if you backtested and you were serious with the backtesting and you saw the results. And I'm not saying backtesting for like the last 2 months or 3 months. I backtest things for years. I sit there at my computer for a long time because like even when I was doing the backtesting for the stocks, even for the algo and everything, I had 4 years of data for each stock that I backtested. Same thing with futures. I could track it. Now I started posting that. I have the link in the Discord for the algo's results for every month. I kind of just do it daily now. That way it makes my life easier. But yeah, definitely don't try to get a home run every single time. That's not the way markets work. Like today, it kind of just chops around a little bit. The market does move big at least once per week. So that is something to pay attention to as well. Depends on, you never know the date, but yeah, there's always one big move every single week. And that's why if you have a setup, try to set up alerts for it. That way you look at it right when your alert comes and you make the rule like, hey, I have to wait for my alert to come for this parameter that I have set because this is part of my trading strategy. And that's how you have to do it. With this whole algo system, right? Like I say, like I talk about all the time, I wait for the algo alert to pop up, I look at it and I analyze it and then I get in and then I ride it through. I could have honestly waited for take profit level 3 yesterday and walked. And if I held both of my contracts, I would have had like a $1,500 day. Would have been double what I got yesterday, right? But that was just because your emotions get into it, your mindset gets into it a little bit sometimes, and you're just like, hey, I kind of just want to take it out because this is good profit, and the market's a little funky, so it's like I want to just, you know, take my profits. And it's like I waited for a while and took my profits, and that's okay with me. I don't know. We might just end up bouncing back down off of that 200 EMA. We'll see what happens, but I think I'm just gonna call it a day for Tiff because this market's kind of just ranging. There's always some stupid news right now as well. So we'll see how everything plays out. But if I see a nice move, if I get an alert on my phone, then I'll probably come back up, look at the markets again. But for now, buyers are stepping in at 35.15. So we might start making that push up again, which will be nice. So we'll see what happens, right? But yeah, I think I'm just gonna hop off the stream. I'm gonna stop looking at the charts for a little while. But yeah, if you guys are still trading, Best of luck, man. Today is choppy, so be careful. As always, I wish you guys the best, and I'll be back tomorrow. See you guys later. Peace out.